Hey everybody. Happy Friday night. Yeah, Friday night, Saturday morning-ish. So I wanted to talk about the North Node in Aries transit that is coming up in July of this year. It's going to last until January of 2025. Okay, so let's talk about this transit. So the North Node transits every 2 years or so-ish, and it changes signs, right? So right now we're currently under the transit of the North Node in Taurus, and the South Node is in Scorpio. So the nodes are always the opposite signs. So Taurus and Scorpio are opposite signs. Meaning that the South Node is in Scorpio, the North Node is in Taurus, and that's a transit that we have been dealing with since last yearish, beginning of last year. And in July 18th, we're going to move into the North Node in Aries, and it'll be the South Node in Libra. So far we've been dealing with Taurus energy big time, and Uranus is there, so it's a lot of change with money, as we have seen with cryptocurrency, issues with banking and bankers, which are all things that Taurus rules. Scorpio rules banking, Taurus rules actual money and what we value, and that has changed. And that's what happens during these transits. These things will become more important, more pronounced. They'll have more of our attention. So come July, the focus will be less on money, and if if countries are starting secret currencies and all those types of things, and it will be more about the individual, the person, and also certain relationships will come into question as well. And how do I know this? How do I know this is going to happen? It's because the North Node is going to move into Aries, which is about the individual, and the South Node is going to be in Libra, which is about relationships and marriage and business partnership and legal things. So when this North Node of the Moon transits into Aries in July, it's going to bring up themes around yourself, relationships with others, how much you're giving to others, how much you're giving to yourself. All those things are going to be pronounced, are going to come into question, are going to become more important to you, and where that's going to affect you is based on your personal natal chart. You guys probably know I was going to say that. So for me, I'll use myself as an example. The North Node moving into Aries is going to bring up more things where I need to focus on my children, my personal pleasures, my love life. That South Node in Libra is going to also pronounce that as well, and drag that along. It's also going to call into question and assess my friendships, because Libra, for me in my chart, is in my house of friendships and also my house of audiences. So my social media audience is going to be more of a focus for me, as well as me taking care of myself, be prioritizing myself by myself, but also as a mother, because Aries is going to be in my house of children and other things. Like I said, my love life, my business, and all those types of those things are going to be pronounced. They're going to be things that I need to deal with and assess and address. So depending on where Aries and Libra are in your chart, that's going to determine what this North Node is going to address for you. What types of issues, and I don't want to say issues like they're a bad thing, but what types of concerns are going to come up for you personally. Now, if you want to get a gist, and this is a tool that I learned from my personal astrologer, if you want to get a gist of like, well, what's this transit going to be like? How's it going to feel? What types of things are going to be themes, and things are going to be addressed for me, you can actually look at your, you can look at past dates of when this transit has happened before. So anytime you get a repeat transit, something happens again, right? Most people know about their Saturn return. When you have your second Saturn return, similar themes will come up. It may not be the exact same situation, but it will be similar to the themes that you've experienced before. So the last time we had North Node in Aries and South Node in Libra was December 27th, 2004 to June 22nd, 2006. So if you can think back to that time, what was going on in your life? What were you doing? What things were important to you at that time? What type of things came up for you at that time? Did you move? Did you finish high school? Did you finish college? Did you have a baby? Did you get married? Did you get your first real job? You can look back at those dates and see how it affected you, because it's going to affect you again in a similar way. If you are older than me, and you can go back some more, the previous time that this transit happened was April 7th, 86 to December 2nd, 87. So if you're older than me, because I wasn't alive then, my mom wasn't even pregnant with me then, but if you can look back at those times, you have more experiences that you can look at and be like, oh, you know what, that year that did happen, and then, okay, then this happened too, as well, when the transit happened again, so you can kind of, you know what to expect. So if you only have one example, like myself, 04 to 06, then, you kind of assess what happened around then. For myself, I was a teenager at the time, and I was in high school. I had just started high school, and relationships were definitely important to me. Being new in high school and deciding who I was going to be friends with, right? So I even mentioned that, how Libra is going to affect my friendships. It affected my friendships then, right? Because I had to decide who were going to be my friends, like in high school. Y'all know how that is. Like, who was going to be my friend group in high school. I also got my first boyfriend then. And I think when the transit was closing out, my focus was like prom and who was going to be my prom date. Very Libra type things. And as far as Aries energy is concerned in my chart, and that previous time that the North Node was in Aries, I was also like, again, I was in high school. So I was definitely in that period where it was like, I was finding myself, right? And Aries is about yourself, being selfish. Who you are as a person, how you show up in the world, how people see you, how you present yourself, how you act, your physical body. So, of course, during this time period, again, I was in high school, so I went through puberty, or the finishing stages of puberty. So my actual physical body changed. Aries does rule the physical body. My physical body changed, and I was finding myself, of course. I was a teenager. I was growing into myself, who I was going to be as an adult. So those types of things are going to come up for me again, or, probably reevaluating myself, determining what type of relationships I want to keep or let go of or start, and those will be, whether it be romantic or platonic, because again, Libra, their romantic sign, is in my house of friendships. So that's what will be happening for me. But like I said, this is based on my personal chart, and I'm being a little, what's the word I want to use? I'm not being very, I'm not telling you all my business. I'll say that. I'm being a little secretive about how that went for me, because only I know how that went for me and the things that actually happened, just as you know about yourself. So you want to look back at those dates, and I'll repeat them for you. December 27, 2004 July 22nd to 2006, and if you're older, April 7th, 86 through December 2nd, 87. So what was going on with you then, during those time periods, or time period if you only have one like me, and how did that affect you? What were you going through? What were you learning? Where were you? Did you have a major move? Did you start a particular job? Did you take up a hobby that greatly interested you? So definitely look back at those times and assess what was going on over that almost 2-year period, and it will give you a guideline as to what will be coming up this coming year into January of 2025. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be good. It's definitely a reassessment of yourself. Again, there will be some relationships that will end because there's Libra there on the South Node. But this transit is about really being selfish, like I said, and really focusing on yourself and really determining who's going to go with you, right? Who's going to go with you into this next chapter, because after this, right, so after 1/11/25, the North Node is going to move into Gemini, which is the sign of friends and cousins and your neighborhoods and things like that. And the South Node is going to be in Sagittarius, which is about long distance travel and learning big subjects and learning foreign languages and traveling overseas, traveling long distance, going to school for higher education. It's going to be big. Education is going to be really big. People are going to be doing trades that have always interested them that maybe they didn't do. I'm going back to school, traveling long distance, even moving to different countries, but that's going to be 2025 and forward, right? So we're not talking about that. We're talking about this transit that's coming up now. So that's in the future. But as of now, what we should be looking forward to and focusing on now is this Aries transit that's coming up in July. Where in your life have you been being too giving? Libra energy can be too giving, particularly in relationships. Where have you been too nice? Aries is going to give you that energy to not be so nice and to be firmer, to create more boundaries. That's actually what this year is about creating boundaries so that you can move forward in a way that is productive for your personal growth. So, it's going to be a lot of people that are, this is a bad year if you're codependent. I'm going to tell you, if you're codependent, this energy, particularly wherever you have Aries and Libra in your chart, you're going to not want to be codependent anymore. Something is going to occur that's going to make you stop being so codependent on a person, or particularly, especially people, but also things, and also places. Are you just sitting somewhere and it's not really the best environment for you? It's just comfortable. Like, I'll give an example. So myself, I was born into, or I was raised in a military family. So I have no qualms about picking up and moving. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I need to stay in my hometown where all my friends are. No, I will pack up and move to a different state with no problem. Not necessarily sporadically, because I'm definitely a planner, but I'm not tied to a place like that. I have places that I favor, I like better, but I will move, okay? One of the people watching my video is stating that she is a North Node in Aries and her moon is in Aries too. So this is going to affect you even more than the average person. Again, it depends on what house Aries is in and what house Libra is in too, how it's going to affect you. But with it being your North Node, we call that like a nodal return. That's the astrological term for it. This will be your nodal return. So you are going to really step into your true self. Really step into what's good for you. Really get rid of relationships that are not serving you. You're going to, this is going to show you how selfish you need to be. Because as a North Node in Aries, you're supposed to be more selfish than other people. You're supposed to be very self-centered and very self-focused. And relationships are supposed to serve you, not the other way around. So when you have a North Node in Aries, your life path, your life lesson is to be selfish, is to be self-focused, is to focus on taking care of your physical body. And this, one of the great things you could do as a North Node in Aries is weight training, or take up some type of physical activity, particularly martial arts. But that South Node in Libra is like, leave the raggedy ass relationships alone. If they're not clapping for you while you're on stage, then that's not the relationship. And this also means platonic relationships for you. That's important for you. Now your North Node is there and your Moon is there, so this is going to deal with because your Moon is there. This is going to deal with your personal feelings about your own mother, because your Moon is there. This is also going to affect. This is also a good time, and more than likely you do a lot of healing around how you parent and how you were mothered yourself. You do a lot of healing around that. You may find that you may be codependent because of how you were mothered, or you may find that you're codependent in certain ways with your child, and that will shift. That he will step into his individuality, and you will step into yours, and stuff like that. So it's not a bad transit, friend. It's not a bad transit at all. It's definitely the beginning of your villain era, because you're going to feel more emboldened to step into that Aries energy. With you having your nodal return, when you start doing Libra shit, it's going to start pushing you towards being more selfish and independent and self-focused, and focused on your physical body, and focused on getting folks together, because Aries energy does do that. Get folks together. So this would be good for you. I think when you're going to come out of this transit swinging, it also does depend on what house it's in and what other planets are bumping up against Aries in any way. So I think it's going to be good for you. I think it's going to be really, really good for you. I'm excited for you. Hey, friend. So she says, I wonder how this is going to go for people with Aries, North Node in the 12th house. Hopefully they're going to grow the fuck up. Hopefully. I could see people with North Node and Aries in the 12th house being into like Tai Chi, yoga, really zenning themselves out. However, if you have a North Node and Aries in the 12th house and you're not taking care of your physical body, taking care of your mental state, taking care of your physical head, meaning like wearing helmets and stuff like that, even down to wrapping your hair so that you can spiritually protect yourself and things like that when you go into public, you might end up in a mental institution. You might have one of those Aries moments and end up in jail. If you don't properly do what is properly needed to be done with a North Node in the 12th house. It's going to teach a lot of people as well who have heavy Aries energy, who have been out of fucking control, how to control their behavior. Aries can be so sporadic and so wild and so, feral and just impulsive, that these people could do things that are impulsive and feral and operate in a space of hot-headedness, and it's not going to be good for you. Unless you have a North Node in Aries, you can kind of get away with some of that shit. But with it being in the 12th house, I would advise you to maybe chill a little bit. Maybe take a boxing class, okay, for your anger, instead of beating somebody's ass, because you might end up in jail. You might end up in a mental health institution. To have the North Node in the 12th house in Aries, and to have the South Node in Libra in the 6th house, You codependent as fuck. That's definitely a codependent energy. And you have to stop making your life about people. The 6th house rules schedules. So these are the people who, you have a North Node in 12th in Aries, South Node in Libra in the 6th. You running behind your husband all day. You running behind your kids all day. You're codependent. And you focus on helping other people versus helping yourself. And this transit is going to get you up out of that shit. So that's for all you 12th house, North Node, and Aries people who are going to have their nodal return in the 12th house. You know what? Actually, in the beginning of this video, I was talking about the North Node going into Gemini, and I'm so wrong. That already happened. That's some Mercury retrograde shit. The North Node after this is going to go into Pisces, and then I'll have my nodal return, which I'm excited about. That's going to be cool. What's it doing to our Mars placements? Good question. Good question. So, Mars rules Aries. So, wherever you have Mars, it's going to fuel that North Node and Aries energy, depending on where you have Mars and depending on where you have your North Node. So I use myself as an example, as I do all the time. So my Mars is actually in Pisces, but it's right on the cusp of Pisces and Aries. So for me, I'm going to definitely be gung-ho about things that are family related because my Mars is in my 4th house of family. Inching into my house of children and pleasures and gambling and entrepreneurship and stuff. Your Mars is in your 12th. I hate to say it, but you probably will have a lot more sleep disturbances, a lot more vivid dreams. You may have periods where you just don't get any sleep. Every time Mars actually transits my 12th, I don't have Mars on my 12th, but whenever Mars transits my 12th, something occurs where I don't get enough motherfucking sleep. Something happens. Either I'm taking care of a newborn, because that's happened a few times during Mars, during the 12 transits. Taking care of a newborn, just had a baby, or illness, which is 12th house shit too. I'll be sick and I can't, I won't get good sleep around that time period. I'll be getting up for whatever reason. Yeah, that's going to definitely keep you busy. I would definitely invest in some chamomile tea or something to help with the sleep. Yeah. I'm sorry. You may find also that you may get sick more, and I hate to say that, you may get sick more if you're doing too much, if you're not, because you might really be like zip, 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 like just, super busy, and that could be something that makes you sleep more, like you're really tired, right, but you can't sleep, or you want to sleep more, but your mind is definitely going to be busy, and that's what will keep you awake, if it does keep you awake. Or if it keeps you sick, or if you do get sick, it's going to be because you didn't slow down and take care of yourself. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to improve. Where do you have Aries in your chart, though? So, for you guys who are, new to astrology, you always want to look at the ruling planet of whatever is happening. So, when Jupiter, right now, Jupiter is it in Taurus? Yeah, Jupiter's in Taurus now. You want to look at where Venus is, because Venus actually rules Taurus. So you want to see how that's affecting you. Rulerships and keywords are the key to astrology. People be like, I don't get it. I'm like, if you don't understand what planet rules what sign, what planet rules what house, what sign rules what house, what rules what house, you don't know the keywords of what these things mean, none of it's going to make sense. None of it's going to make sense at all. I tell people that all the time. And I'm like, just come take an astrology class. Just come take an astrology class and this type of stuff will make sense to you. Oh, you have Mars in Capricorn. Yeah. Yeah. I think the North Node in Aries will help you to prioritize. I know you said that you had hired a assistant. You may need to hire more people because it's going to keep you. You're going to be busy. You're going to be busy. So, would you telling me that it's going to be in Capricorn, or that it's your Mars is in Capricorn? You're going to be really busy. So that's what's going to be keeping you up. It's going to be business. Business stuff is going to keep you busy. Okay, my kid is like waking up, so hold on, y'all. Come on. I know. Shh. So yeah, work's going to be what's keeping you busy. Keeping you zip running. My kid's going to be keeping me busy. Like I said, fourth house. My kids, my home, we're likely purchasing a new home. All that stuff is going to be keeping me on my toes. But that's what Mars does. Mars kicks you off of the diving board. Mars is like, girl, just hurry the fuck up and get this shit done. Stop playing with me. Yeah, you're probably going to need a few people to help you. Which is a great problem to have. An awesome problem to have. But that's going to have you busy. And Mars is in Scorpio. So, depending on what house that's in for you, that's going to keep you busy. Could be sexually related busy. It could also be with fixing your finances, getting out of debt, investing, getting money back that's motherfucking owed to you. That's some Scorpio shit too. It may be time for that as well. So you may get like a settlement. Might owes you money, has to pay you. Oh, and shameless plug. I am wearing Ella from the Harlem Renaissance collection with a Night Moth liner from MAC. But the lip is from me. GlamAlchemy.com. And this color is Ella. Yeah, she's like, don't be going too far away from me. You got my food, girl. You got my food. I know. Don't flex, mommy. Hey, yeah. I love that. Yeah, you're going to be on some... Okay, let me pull my boob out for this child. You're going to be definitely on some mogul shit. That's my my theme for you, Jay, is mogul shit. Mogul shit only. Okay, you're not going to eat? Okay. Right, but now she's acting like she don't want to eat. Like, she play too much. You just want to smell the milk or something? Yes. So you're definitely in alignment, Chris. Like, it's about to go down. Start calling your money back. Hit them with some wealth of the wicked, okay? Get your coins, sis. Get your coins. Because that should be coming back to you. And again, it depends on what house that's in for you. As well as to, like, where this money is going to come from, or what types of investments you'll be making. That is further described by what house it's in. Yeah, child. I know, honey. I know. You're like a little peanut ball. I know. So yeah. I'm going to put this on YouTube, even though I had a slip of the tongue and said that the North Node is going to move into Gemini after this. It's not. It's going to move into Pisces. So forgive me. And this is also coupled with, so like I said, you can look at the previous transit of, look at my dates again. You can look at the previous transit of 12/27/04 to 6/22/06 and 4/7/86 to 12/2/87 to see when how this is going to affect you, because this transit has affected you before in those previous years. So just check the theme and see like what was happening then. And I told you guys my little story of what was happening with me. I was a cute little teenager starting high school, deciding who was going to be my friends and who I was going to date. And I was definitely in a space of renewal. It was like a whole new situation. I had just moved to a different state. And I had to find my own identity and find out who I was going to link up with. friendship-wise and relationship-wise. But that's me, and that's my chart, and that's my 5th and 11th house stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, Mars in the 11th house. So this could be like growing the audience, a change. Okay, mommy. Okay, come on up here with me. Okay, so a change of friendships. Also a change of mindset in a lot of ways. So the 11th house rules like innovation and stuff like that. Things that you create on your own. And you may decide, you know what, I really want to create, for instance, a podcast. I really want to create, I want to invent this new AI tool. I want to start manifesting things. 11th house is the house of wishes and dreams come true. I want to be on a different vibe. I feel like with Mars in the 11th, it's definitely a space of renewal because you just want to be on a totally different vibe and energy. You want new people around you. You may want to change industries. And that will be super dope for you. But with that Mars in the 11th, with the friends, let me make it explain. You may have some problems with friends, and the way that they're ushered out may not be very friendly because Mars can be very aggressive. So, you may have to cuss some motherfuckers out. You might have to be somebody's ass. And those friendships will fall away for new ones. In a lot of cases, it really just depends on what's aspecting your Mars. But with Mars in the 11th, I see that as disagreements with friends and finding new friends. And maybe your new friends really are your social media audience or your coworkers at your job or the people who actually maybe you've been overlooking them, who are your real friends, but you're going to have to get rid of some folks. That's really, with that South Node in Libra, I think we all have to get rid of some folks. It's time of a restructuring of friendships because a lot of people are not prioritizing themselves over the relationships that they're in with family, with friends, with their romantic partner. So, that Libra South Node is going to sweep a lot of that away. Because we be tripping in this codependent society that we live in. Even though people do get praised for being individuals, we're highly codependent on other people's opinions. And I think that the North Node in Aries is going to usher a lot of that out. Like, I feel like you're going to see social media influencers, like, get on YouTube or get on TikTok and be like, I'm miserable. I know I have 5 million followers and I make $10,000 every week, but I'm miserable. This is making me unhappy. Because they're like so overly invested in their audience. So I could definitely see that happening. For sure. Which is good, because like I said, when the North Node goes into Pisces, folks are going to be spacing the hell out. So, some of us need to release some of those attachments so that we can move into the more spiritually elevated space, which is going to be the North Node in Pisces and South Node in Virgo. Yeah, people switching audiences, yeah. And it's going to be some influencers who are going to lose followings because they say, they get this Aries North Node, eat their ass up, and they say something crazy. So you know how that happens, you know. Somebody makes a statement or has some type of PR mishap. And the people are like, did you hear that so-and-so 816 on YouTube said this? Did you hear that, you know, he got caught doing this? And that's going to completely, like, fuck up their following. And that's not going to be cool. But we have, I mean, right now, Saturn is in Pisces, so there's a lot of retributory energy going on right now. So, I mean, just know if those people, if there are people that come out and they're exposed, especially with Saturn being in Pisces right now, they've been doing the shit they've been doing, and they got caught, and it was just a karmic thing that came around. Because that be happening to people. They be getting away with shit for a long time. Man, if you really want to watch how some transits would eat a motherfucker up, look at R. Kelly. Look at R. Kelly. I've seen several astrologers do videos on, like, when he got caught officially. Because, you know, he had, I mean, everybody knows he had been doing this shit for a while. Everybody knows about Aaliyah. And so much stuff had happened, and people had all these speculations. But then certain transits hit. It's like when, because he's a Capricorn sun, and I remember it was like around the time that the South Node was in Capricorn, it just started eating him up. Like, he couldn't escape it. He went to jail, he got out for a little bit, they sent him back. He couldn't escape the karma that was coming for him. And he's actually a North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio. So even this transit, this nodal return hasn't even been good for him. They still coming out with documentaries about him. But he lived in his South Node of Scorpio. And he was sexually deviant, which is the dark side of Scorpio. And so unfortunately, you know, people were harmed. Bad things happened. And, you know, he's where he needs to be right now. I could see that. So, for those of you who are going to be watching this video later, Jay said, I do feel like a lot of these toxic men with platforms and basically anybody that's an enemy to women is about to get dragged. I could totally see that. I could see, with North Node in Aries, I could see it increasing. Passport bros, red pill, and then something happening where, excuse me, one of the big leaders gets caught up, and then everybody starts side-eyeing the whole movement. I don't know why it takes that for people, because, again, that's some Libra shit. People just, Americans are such followers. But if one of those really big influencers who focus on misogyny and patriarchy and this whole thing that they have going on, it could dismantle the whole thing. I could totally see that. Yeah, Aries and Mars being the phallus. I could totally see that. I think also men who are really teaching and coming from an educational space could also do really well on social media, hosting retreats and things for like other men and stuff like that. They could be really successful during this time as well, because Aries does govern men and masculinity. Yeah, one of them did die. One of them is going to prison. But you know, when men do stuff, it got to be like 5 of them first before anybody believes, oh, this is a problem. You know, they're not judged the same way that we are in society. So it might take a couple of more of them to get jacked up for them, for everybody to sit back and be like, oh, damn, the top 5 patriarchal influencers have all died or gone to jail. Then people will catch on. But you know, people will be late when it's stuff like that happening. I know. Baby late, mommy? Yeah, baby agreed. Yeah, and that's another thing too. So like, so Z says here they're already on the FBI list as extremists. So Mars and Aries also rules like militaristic activity. So it could get very real for them, especially if they start saying things that are that trigger the internet to move, or not the internet, trigger the government to move in a more aggressive way. It's going to be a good time for them. Yeah. If you have Aries in your 12th house, if you have Aries in your 3rd house, if you have Aries in your 10th house, if you have Aries in your 8th house, please don't be out here acting a damn fool. Please. Because it can definitely get very real very fast. Yeah, I could also see that a lot of new leaders receiving rights and titles. I think there's also going to be even more of a shift with this whole body modification thing. Aries rules your physical body and Libra rules beauty. I think that people are going to scale back a little bit on the body modifications. We already have Black China leading the charge. But people are going to chill out with these body modifications because we might see more people pass due to them. And as we advance as a society, people are going to find less invasive ways to change their bodies. Yeah, but yeah, I could definitely see a lot more people earning titles. And you know what? Also with North Node and Aries, I could see a lot of young people earning titles. So don't be surprised if we have government officials that are elected during this time period that are like the youngest they could be. Like, oh wow, this person is 25-year-old mayor. You may see that more often. Although that's happened before, you may see an influx of younger people in high positions, which is definitely needed. Definitely needed. I think also with the North Node being in Aries, you'll see a focus on children as well. Children making profound statements and being put in places. Even children hosting shows and things like that. Yeah, I could totally see that. Because, I mean, Aries starts everything over. There's just been so much old stuff that needs to be cleared out. And Aries is the one to do that, to clear that energy out. For sure. So that was my little spiel on that. If you don't know your chart, you need some help. I will be doing North Node and South Node in Aries. North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra readings based on your natal chart. And we can look at where this energy is going to affect you and how you can best prepare for this energy so that you're not out here looking crazy. Okay? Alright, so if you want to book one of those, you can go to glamalchemy.com /shop and choose that option, or you can ask me for the link. I can send you the link. But definitely be prepared for this. I've already scoured over the last time the transit happened and really assessed the things that occurred, so I pretty much know what I'm up for. But yeah, I'm just trying to, move through it. Because I also have some other heavy transits that I'm going to be dealing with this year. They're not really bad. It's just a lot. But Aries does rule the child. So overall, no matter where it is, please know that you are going to deal with some inner child shit. You're going to deal with some inner child shit that has to be dealt with. It has to be burned off for you to move forward into that North Node and Pisces energy that is going to be coming up after that. I really hate that I said the North Node was going to move into Gemini. I want stuff to move in order, but the moon moves backwards, so it's the North Node is going to be in Pisces next. But everybody can't go. Like, if you don't deal with your inner child stuff, the North Node in Pisces is going to be so annoying, and you're going to hate it because you're going to still have another cycle of karma that you haven't dealt with for the past 12 years, and that sucks. Alright, y'all, so it's 1 a.m. here. So I'm gonna sign off. That's so funny. She says she keeps dreaming of her childhood school. Again, Mars in the 12th year. Your dreams are gonna be very, very vivid with Mars being in the 12th, well, period. But this transit is probably gonna make them more pronounced, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've had a lot of well, see, again, my Mars is in my 4th, so I've definitely been assessing a lot of family stuff that needs to be addressed, and Yeah. I've actually had, did I have a dream? I feel like I had a dream about a family member last week. But that's, you know, Pisces is dreams, so I've been dreaming on more too lately. We're gonna all be dreaming after 2025. Gonna be dreaming big time. Alright, y'all. So y'all have a good night. I will upload this to YouTube. I'm still mad about my misstep talking about the North Node moving to Gemini. But that's just, you know, my Virgo energy making me be anal. I just have to edit it out. I just don't feel like editing no videos. But I just have to. So good night, y'all. Wanna say good night, mommy? Baby sis. Good night. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good rest of your night. Peace.